Now, this is an interesting question. When we say Bielsa, it's not just about Bielsa. It's when you talk about the gender issue, it's all over the world. Okay, and today we are seeing a huge change in the U.S. with Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris in the United States as Vice President, and Joe Biden has a lot of President Joe Biden has a lot of women in his cabinet, and we hope that will spread to other nations and Africa. Now we have a culture in Africa, and I hope with these changes it will affect the continent of Africa in that light, where we have allow women to lead. Now we've had women presidents. We have the one in there's one in Greece, I think, the one in Africa we had Liberia, Madam Johnson Sirleaf. But we need more women. In terms of limits, we're all human beings. We're all human beings. There is no man knowledge or brilliance or capacity, and women, no. We all have the same rights, the same capacities, the same if given the same opportunities. I believe there's a report. I saw a report, very recent report, that says if a nation employs more women, the nation will prosper just by employing more women. I'll get that report for you shortly. Just by employing more women, the nation automatically, that is the report I'm not talking about, I'm not speculating right now. And so women, I think the limitations that come is in terms of culture, where you walk into an office and you want to do training, and they are wondering. I said earlier I was in human resource. I'm a fellow in the human resource but one of the things I've seen is we would rather give opportunities to a man because they think he has more responsibilities. There is this unwritten culture that a man must take care of a woman. There is this unwritten marriage rule that says the man needs respect, the woman needs love. I'm still looking for where that came out from. The woman also needs respect. That cascades down to business. The woman needs respect in business. So as a woman, you don't have a limit. You don't have any barriers. Go and get that job done. Go and get that deal closed. If what I tell women is, if they look at you strange, it's not because there's anything wrong with you. They probably have eyesight issues. So you're not. It's not your eyes. So let them struggle with the challenges that they have. You just deliver. So because sometimes when you're treated, women are treated badly. Sometimes we must say the truth. But you don't say, just glide through. Keep your cool and do your thing, because research has shown that women deliver better. Now that's not to look down on the efforts of men, but I think more women also needs to wake up. I've seen women who think, I talk to a lot of young ladies, and in counseling them, you ask them, okay, so what do you want to do with your life? And they say, I want to learn makeup artist. Why? It's a woman's job. I'm a mechanic by profession. Okay? When I tell people I'm a mechanic, they say, mechanic? How? I studied mechanical engineering. I didn't fail. We were just 3 ladies in my class. We all did well. Why? Because we went, at some point, the guys they stopped seeing us as women according to them. Why? Because whatever they did, we did. Whatever practicals they were doing, there was no female practical and male practical. Practical was practical, everybody did it. So stop thinking, oh, this is a woman's job. Someone said to me, why are you driving a man's car? I came down and I looked around the car. I said, I didn't see for men. So these are, but it's not my problem. And that's what I tell women. It's not your problem. It's the opposite sex problem. It's their problem. Let them deal with it. Live your life and stop allowing them to stop you. So it's in business, same thing. I remember when I did agribusiness training in some of the ministries we have in Bielsa here, because it's a potential that we have, and I think we have not really harnessed it because of our perspective towards farming. Because a lot of people just think farming is what our forefathers used to do. Farming, when you say farming, you say no, it's for the poor. Farming is not for the poor. So I had several trainings with several ministries here in Bielsa, and sometimes when I walk into the commissioner's office, or I'm to see the permanent secretary, after reading my letter and I come in, they will like, is it you that will do the training? Are you the person? And my name is not an Ijo name. Okay, so they can't place. It's not like Chineye, this okay is a woman's name, or Fumi, is a woman's name. So when they hear the Eldorado, they're wondering, is it a man or a woman? Okay, and I hardly put the Mrs. there. And I come in, they are looking. I remember going to this commissioner's office. I had my baby. My baby was really young. My second child, he was very young. So I went with him for the presentation. He was looking at me, and he said, "Where is your husband?" I said, "It's fine. He's in the office." "What does he do?" At the time, he was consulting for MTN. I said, "He's a consultant with MTN." He said, "Your husband is consulting with MTN. So why are you working?" I laughed, and I told him, why do you think I shouldn't work? Why are you stressing yourself? Yeah, that's what he said. I said, I'm not stressing myself, I'm working, this is my job. And he said, is it that, to him, is it that your husband can't, fend, you have to work because you need to support your husband? No, not every woman works to support their husband. Some women work because they want to work. I went to school to get educated, not because I want to marry a man and support a man. So these are some of the limits that the society and our culture, really, the African culture, the Bielsa culture has. But like I said, it's their problem, not yours. Well, the challenges. I don't think there is a challenge peculiar to the Niger Delta when it comes to entrepreneurship. Why? I think it's a general challenge. Power, transportation, then I dare say tax, because these are things for small SMEs. Now, I'm sure we'll talk more about what we do here. We've invested greatly into this economy, and these are general challenges. In Nigeria, we have power problem. So any business person in the country, it's a problem, because one of the things you must put in place while you're thinking and drawing your business plan is power. Okay, you cannot depend on PH. Is it Fed now? You can't depend on them, so you've got to make provisions for power. You've got to make provisions for transportation, because we have to travel. We have lots of water around, and so most of our transportation is on boats. There are some areas, for example, you have boats coming in once in a week. That is an issue, and it boils down to the third one, which is security. And so that's why I say there is no Niger Delta problem, then Southeast problem. It's it's a general thing. If we can deal with the power issue we have in the country, everybody will enjoy. If we can deal with the security issues we have in the country, everybody will be fine. The same thing with roads. By the time you deal with the road issues we have, which I think the federal government have been doing well. I heard the East-West Road has been awarded already. So if these issues are dealt with, we won't have, because we will not have hike in transportation and all that, and so business will be fine. So there's no specific, these are just the only one I would say. And I think I've spoken to some of my colleagues. We also have branches in all over Nigeria. We have a branch in Lagos, we have a branch in Abuja, Asaba. It's the same thing, task. So here in Bayelsa, since we're talking about Niger Delta and Bayelsa, you have environmental, you have, now in the environmental, you have like 3-4 different levies that you have to pay. You have local government, under local government, you have like 2-3 levels that you have to pay. Then you have revenue. So at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year, now these are just local. Then you also have ITF, NSITF, that all these you have to deal with. How much is your revenue? So these are things I think, if the government or the legislators can look at issues, that ways to help business owners, especially SMEs, pay for some, subsidize some of these things, or give them some months or years of exemption, it will really help. I've seen some in Nigeria. We are heavily invested in oil. Oil is our major source of income. So, and the oil market is doing a bit better than what it did last year. And so I think, I don't see us, I'm hoping we come out of recession. And so my advice for the SME, I think, talking about the pandemic and this, I think the COVID also has a lot of opportunities, has provided us with a lot of opportunities. Now, I'm a member of the Women in Finance Nigeria, and I got a report 3 days ago. I don't know if you know, after we have several opportunities in the agriculture, that I think this gives us. In fact, when there was a shutdown, and I went for a radio interview, and I said, I think this is a great opportunity for us to begin to look inwards, because if by the time Delta State shuts down, Rivers State shuts down, Imo State shuts down, we're on our own. So how do we sustain ourselves without anybody? That is a good place for us to start. And truth, we don't need anybody. Why? I know, okay, yes, we need partnerships, of course. That's what COVID-19 has taught everybody. Because in the beginning, we said, oh, it's in 2019, it's happening in China. Okay, it moved from China. So I told people, we are in partnership. It means something can happen in one part of the world, and it will spread to everywhere. So we are in it together. And, we're in this world together, and we must, collaborate to solve problems. And also, I'm not taking that away, but I'm saying, as a state, we must begin to look at sustaining ourselves through agriculture, through our human resources, through our natural resources, which we have in abundance. One of the areas that we've invested, we looked at the economy of the states and look at what can we do to aid SMEs. Now, one of the challenges in any nation, in any place, and the SMEs have is finance. They need availability of cash and how to access this money. So one of the things we do, we have several sectors that we're invested in, but one of them is credit. We have the MPCS, Brass and Boast Multipurpose Cooperative Limited, Society Limited, where we give out SME loans and we've given out several, I can't count. We have given thousands of loans to SMEs. Why? Because we believe that if these people have money, if they have access to funding, they can make it. They can build their businesses, and especially women. Again, I'm not biased to say, we're not biased. We don't say, oh, you must be a woman for us to give you loans. Oh no, but I know the challenges, and I know the potential a woman has, especially when it comes to business. And so that has spurred us into ensuring that funds are available for these SMEs. So we have almost all the markets. We have clients, women, men, business owners that we've given funds to, just to cushion the economy. I know during the COVID, the lockdown, I keep saying during the COVID. Now, during the lockdown, we had some markets shut down for about 2 months or thereabout. We had to stop their interest rates for 2 months, just because we know they are not open. How do they sell and how do they pay back? So we had to stop the interest rate for 2 months just to help, because if people get hungry, they go wild. And so a lot of them came in. We gave soft loans to them. Another area that we invested in now, in several, we have in entertainment, we're invested in entertainment, media, publishing, and agriculture, of course. Now that's another area that I'm really interested in, and I think Bayelsa, not just Bayelsa, Nigerians should, is an opportunity Nigerians should take advantage of, which is the oil.ng. Now it's we have a company called Plevan, and it's into agriculture, farming and all, and palm oil production, from the plantation to the final products, not just palm oil. We have different kinds of oil from the palm kernel, and we'll be launching that very soon. I think the website is on, and the investment is really low. Now, talking about investments or investing, if you have to be an investor, you must you must be knowledgeable. I read a lot of things online. I just smile. Taking your money and giving to someone is not investing. No, it's not investing. We must understand that. A lot of people put money in things they don't even understand. If someone cannot tell you the truth about their business, don't give them money. And quote me anywhere in the world. Everybody has been looking at the camera now. If you don't understand a business, don't give the person money. You know, a lot of people will say, you don't know me. You don't know me. Trust me. Will I deceive you? It's not about deceive. This is about accountability. So you must understand what you're doing. You must do research. Do your own research. You know, last year, late last year, the Nigerian stock market did very well. Whereas people are saying, COVID, everybody, market is crashing. The US stock market did very well. Nigeria stock market did very well. I think they paid up to 40-something%. So, and a lot of people lost money to Ponzi schemes. Now, I want to say this because it's my area. Investing is my area. After, when I left engineering, I moved into finance and investment. You see a lot of people tell you, come, if you put that's what they say. If you put 100,000 in 1 month, they will give you 200,000. That's 100%. Let's look at the economy, because we've got to be smart. The economy of Bayelsa cannot afford it. You can't do one thing and get 100% profit. I'm not talking about revenue now. I'm saying profit enough to give to someone. So if you're giving somebody 100%, it means you made at least 150%. How? These things are not sustainable. And you can look at the business and know, we're not looking at just, the business don't day now, 8 months ago, 7, maybe that's when the thing is winding up. So we've seen I've seen a lot of people, and that has to do with knowledge. Financial knowledge is way, there's a gulf between financial education and the regular school education that we have. That a person is a graduate does not mean you have financial education. No, you don't know how money works. You've got to take your time and understand the dynamics of money, or the mechanics of money. How does money move? How is money created? How does investment works? Somebody cannot tell you, we invest in it's an online business, so online business is the in thing. Yes, we know digital infrastructure is doing very well. That's what most nations are investing in. Yes, we agree. But question, what is the underlying asset that you are investing in? I say, come invest in oil.ng or Plevan Industries. Plevan Industries we are selling palm oil. Do you understand? We produce palm oil. If you don't want the palm oil, you want to own your own plantation, you can just pay and say, okay, I want to, because in that sector, in that industry, there is always shortage of the palm fruits. And that's one of the things. And we don't we don't jump into any business and say, what's booming. No, a lot of people have come and say, why are you not doing forex? And when I'm done talking to them, they understand what they are doing. And I usually tell them, just brace for impact. And you must brace for impact. Now, in any investing, there is a little bit of risk factor, but as an investor, you must understand the risk element of whatever you're doing and match it with your own risk appetite. When they say there is no risk, it's not true. I want to be quoted. It's not true. You can't say there is no risk. There is always risk. Something could go wrong. What happens? So, and you can't just walk into Brass and Books Financial Services and say, okay, I have 1 million naira. I want to invest. We'll sit you down and ask you, what do you want? What are your objectives? Your objectives is different from his objectives. Is different from my own objective. We all have different reasons why we want to make money. All right. So someone can say, okay, I just want to be traveling. I want to be able to pay for all my vacations without stress. Someone else can say, I want to be changing my cars every year. Or on my birthday, there must be a new car. I want to move, build new houses, several things. So our objectives are different. Our risk appetites are different. And our culture is different. And foremost, we are about financial education. We teach you how to use money. We teach you how money works. We teach you how to make money. Then most importantly, we teach you how to sustain that money. Because it's one thing to make it, it's another thing to keep it. So these are the things. That's the first thing we teach you. Then we show you several investment opportunities. And like I said earlier, we are heavily invested in this economy. And I must say this, the government should be proud of us and should appreciate us, really, because when other people were not giving SMEs credit, we were giving credit. We also have several other businesses that we have invested in, and so we make profits. So we don't do imaginary investments. So we ensure this is what we do. And we will tell you the process of how your money leaves your pockets, how it goes to work, right? then how it comes back to you. That's one. Then secondly, which is something that is not very common, and I think I want to encourage other business owners to do, is we are heavily insured. We treat investors funds as human beings. As a business, we are insured, our staff members are insured, and we insure our funds at two ends, at the lending end and at the inflow end. So every person that brings money into the cooperative, we pay a percentage to Mutual Benefits Life Assurance.